practice as executive coach. There is a highly gifted, talented, well-educated man who holds a rather upper echelon professional position in the Harrisburg community, and he was fired from 2 jobs in the last 3 to 3.5 years. Pretty astounding, right? And as I listened to his accountings, I realized immediately that while he has an awful lot going for him, he also has a lot going against him. This man has an incredibly high IQ, which is our natural intelligence, and in my humble opinion, a very low EQ. And because of this low EQ that he has, specifically, I feel, in the area of self-management and relationship management, number 2 and 4 there among your components, I think that that is why this man has been fired twice in the last 3+ years. It's a very, very sad story. And this is why he has come to me, to try to get underneath this, try to figure this out. Because his attitude was, how can I, someone such as me, be fired? How can that possibly happen? I probably have a higher IQ than most of the people I've ever worked with. I have been highly productive for these companies. How in the world could I be terminated? Well, he was. Let me tell you a little bit about it. This particular man observed that many things were wrong in his workplace, and he was very loud in his chronic complaining about all those things that were wrong. He saw deficiencies in both of these bosses, and he approached them in conversation as if he was elevated here and they were here, these deficient individuals, according to him. He showed his anger, his frustration, his disappointment constantly, and once too often, because that's what has gotten him fired. Many colleagues did not like this individual over time. They started out liking him. Why? Because he's very charming initially. But the longer he would work there, the less they respected him and the less they actually liked him. And so eventually people started keeping their distance from this man. And then, as you know, the end of the story, in both places, he was let go. And you know, there's another piece of the terminating that you need to understand here. I do not condone this, but this is part of the story. He was terminated without ever being given a reason at Company A and Company B. Why? Because this gets into what you've probably heard of as, like, the soft skills. Are you familiar with that term? And the soft skills, folks, today are becoming the hard skills. If you haven't heard that, you know, this soft skills stuff is not the fluff, and it's not the extra stuff that it doesn't matter if we get or not and use or not. But the soft skills today are becoming the hard skills. So this guy had all the hard skills and all the intellect and all the academia and all the stuff that he needed technically on the jobs. But he was fired because of the lack of EQ, which often translates into the soft skills.